Alrighty, hey again everyone. We're back yet again with some more Minecraft. Last time, despite it being called Moar Storage, we went to the end for the whole time. Now this time, it's called Moar Storage, and we're actually doing our storage shit. So yep, that's pretty cool. We're currently on day 596, and we need to go get 4 shulker boxes of logs, if I'm not mistaken. If we want to have enough wood for all the chests that we have. As you can see down here, we got our storage. It's very cool and awesome. And we're starting to get all that assembled finally after all this time. So yeah, we're gonna eventually move out of this. That'll be fun. Twitch seems to be a little laggy, but I'm gonna assume that's not my problem because it's probably not my problem. So let's ignore it. Anyways, no, still suspiciously laggy. Don't like that. Which bitrate? What's up with you? I'm definitely still streaming on OBS. They're just being haters, but okay. Weirdo. There we go, much better. Okay. That was odd. Anyways, we have a hell of a lot of stuff we need to go grab now. We need to go load up like 4 shulker boxes of logs, which will get us enough shulker boxes for everything we're looking to do. So, yeah, we're going to be at this for a little while. Additionally, we'll have to grind leather in the near future, so we may actually have to build a hoglin farm for the first time ever. Never built one before because it's never been needed, so that'll be interesting. And we'll grab some of those, and we'll pop it in here, and we'll put some of this back. There we go. And then additionally, we have our new elytra boxes that we also need to go fill up, which they're cool. And we'll just kind of work on whatever we can. So yeah. Let's see here. I guess, where on earth do we go to go get some good stuff? There's got to be something here. Oh, and I did write down my icebergs. Perfect. So, let's see here. I had to have written it down somewhere, but there should be a spot where I've got myself taiga. There is not, actually. Wow, that's rare. All right, well, we're going out exploring then, if that's going to be the case. We're on the hunt for a taiga right now. Let's go see if we can go find one. We're gonna go positive X. This is where I feel like going. That's just what I'm thinking of. We'll go this way, see if we can go find one. I can't imagine it should be that far away for there to be a mega taiga, but at the same time I have no clue, so we'll see what we can find. We got a village out to our right there, that's neat. It's doing its little village thing. And now we're going towards a savanna, which won't do us any good, so we should actually double back to somewhere a little bit colder. Oh, this is a 2 blacksmith village. That's pretty rare. You don't see those too often. We'll double back, see what we can find. Additionally, too, during my downtime today, I was checking the wiki because we are finally at the point now where we should start asking ourselves questions like, should we die? As in, should we dye all of our stuff? Because we don't have a lot of dyes, and I know we can farm a decent little chunk of them quite nicely, but we need to actually farm the damn stuff to do that. I also really wish leaf litter could have made brown dye. That would have been huge, because it's still cocoa beans. After all this time, it's still fucking cocoa beans for brown dye, which is pretty lame, but I get it, it is what it is. We are on the lookout for some rose bushes too, because I don't believe we've actually got any yet. But we will take out all the 2 tall flowers that we see for now. Rose bushes are integral because they make red dye, and they're not poppies, so that's the other thing. And speaking of rose bushes, we got some here. We'll go ahead and take a nice little stack of these. Oh, I know what I did with them now, I think. I think I put them in the bee farm that I have. Oh, that would make a lot of sense. Okay, well, that is good to know. We also should maybe fix up our elytra, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Not my problem. We are still just trying to keep an eye out for a good old savanna. Savanna? Taiga biome. And it's not looking good. I know I've seen one before in my travels, but I never wrote it down, so I don't know where on earth that's going to be. Other than it's just going to be out there somewhere, so we'll find it when we find it. You know how these things go. If it's linked up to a plains, though, we should have some fairly good luck with this, so we'll see. We're definitely going out in new chunks, though, here, since our frame rate's starting to chug a little bit. Oh, hello. Got some really cool stony peaks out here. Ah, there we go. Perfect. A suspiciously spherical cave. The fuck? Okay, well that's weird. I have never seen one that perfect before. That is super odd. Very cool, but odd. Oh, we got some beautiful ass mountains out here, and some nice packed ice. Rather, some frosted peaks, or frozen peaks, rather. We should write these down too, because if we need more ice, we've got it. But honestly, we have the iceberg, so I'm opting to ignore it. But this is cool. This, oh shit, if we didn't find out where we currently live, this would have been a great base too. Damn. Yeah, the way you've got like this valley that kind of forms in between all these mountains, this would have been cool too. I still really, really like where we currently live though, so I don't regret not living here, but this is a cool alternative. Damn. Our elytra's also taking a heavy beating here, so we are going to have to stop and do something about that pretty soon. But that's fine for now. Instead, we'll go ahead and just keep it simple, land up on this tree, and this is the part where we go ahead and whip this out. Okay, we whip this out actually, and we'll pull out our toolbox, and we can switch out our axe now. There we go. And we'll go ahead and just pop a couple more. There we go. Nice full elytra there. That should help us out. And we're just going to tear through these woods as best we can. No sense in trying to save nothing. We're just going to rip and tear and take everything out the best we can. We don't need to save any saplings. We don't need to save any sticks. We're just here for the logs, which is great. Day 597. I don't know if I can get this done in 3 days by the time day 600 rolls around, but I would certainly like to try, so try we shall. We need somewhere in the ballpark of 6,400 logs if we want to do this. So about 100 stacks of logs, which isn't actually too bad. I mean, in the time it's taken me to say this sentence, we've already almost gotten a full stack, so we're doing quite good already. We just have to do this 100 more times, but it shouldn't be too bad. And I say 100, but technically it'll be less than that because we already did put in a decent chunk of the chest, so it'll be less than that, but we're going to aim for 100 so we can at least fill up like 4 shulker boxes, because we'll, use the excess wood for building anyway, so it's good to have it. Doing some extra thinking while I was taking a little bit of a break earlier today, it's come to my attention that I could literally just, with that, expanding on that gradient idea that I talked about earlier, right? Since there's going to be 3 layers in between everything, because we're going to have 4 layers of chest, which means the in-between layers, there will be 3 of them, right? We could go between, or at max 4, because the floor is going to be solid. So that means the first roof, second roof, third roof, and fourth roof are going to be the only glass ones. We could have black glass to, I think, gray, light gray, and then white. So we could have each layer be transparent with glass, and then it'll also have like a cool gradient effect from above, where it's going from like white to dark, which will be really cool. So I'm going to try giving that a build. That's also why I'm so interested in doing some dye farming, which we technically don't need to do anymore for right now because it's going to be grays, blacks, and whites, right? Which is literally just black and white dye in various ratios, and then that gets you everything you're looking for. So we've already got all the black dye we could want now with these extra wither roses. So, and we've got more than enough white dye because of the massive amount of bone meal we've been getting from the wither skeleton farm and also just from our normal like hostile mob farm. So we actually have all the dye we're looking for on that front. So we can dye stuff really pretty colors. We now have access to some of the other colors by our 2 tall flowers, so those will be useful too. And then the only particularly annoying ones that we have to get are going to be brown dye and blue dye, because we have to farm cornflowers, which luckily we can do in plains biomes just by bone mealing like the ground and having like a flower farm in a plains biome, which we have, so we're fine there. And then brown dye is just a normal like cocoa bean farm. You literally can't get around that at all. So, bit of a shame, but we'll have to do something with that. Green dye with cactus isn't too bad once we actually get a cactus farm up and going. That's kind of the only deal right now, is we just have to physically make a cactus farm. We can smelt everything more than fine. We just have to be able to stockpile a crap ton of cactus and then go smelt it once in a while. And we could probably cook up, I would say, not what I could say. I know we can do like 4 shulker boxes of cactus at a time. Should be pretty good. And then with all the lava that causes, or that costs, that should be fine. So we should be able to do a lot with all that. And then with green dye, you can make lime green dye easily. But if you don't want to do it like that, then you can have a micro farm to get sea pickles and then smelt the sea pickles directly into lime dye if you don't want to craft lime dye. So yeah, there's plenty of options. It's just a matter of picking one of them and going for it. And yeah, just a lot of work that we want to do now that we can finally afford to decorate stuff and we can actually sit down and make some nice dye farms. So yeah. But today, working on that storage area, we need a shulker box of item frames, which means we need a shulker box of leather and 8 shulker boxes of sticks. Now, luckily, 1 shulker box of wood makes 8 shulker boxes of sticks, right? Because 1 shulker box of logs makes 4 planks, which makes 8 of sticks, so that's cool. So, once we get an extra shulker, we actually should be fine. And we can get whatever we can. It's just the leather, though, is what we're going to struggle on for a little while until we build like a proper hoglin farm, or we just go through beating the shit out of cows and just trying to do stuff from there. But I'm sure we'll be fine either way, so I'm not going to sweat it that hard. We'll get done when we get done, right? Oh, down we go. Oh, it's raining now. How cool. Never ended up getting that skeleton horse at our base, unfortunately. Forgot to actually go defuse that, so we didn't get to keep the skeleton horse tragically enough, but we'll get another one day, I'm sure. It'll be okay. But yeah, we're just here cutting down trees until we get 100 stacks of logs. I would like to build like a proper TNT tree farm. Well, no, actually, I take that back. I don't want to build a TNT tree farm because, again, I don't really like the idea of TNT duplication. So if I could maybe manually power it with like my own TNT, like okay, like I went there, and I feel like this is the case, but I haven't like officially like checked around yet or anything. But I'm very positive this exists already. But there should be modifications of existing tree farms that use dispensers instead of like TNT duping. You just dispense a piece of TNT and then boom, you're good, right? And with the amount of gunpowder we produce from our hostile mob farm, all we would have to do is like go mine, I think, 4 or 5 shulker boxes of sand to get like a shulker box of TNT, assuming we had the gunpowder, and then we would be good. So, and a shulker box of TNT would get you way more wood than you could realistically use unless you were using it for chests. And if you did need more, then like just go grind more TNT for a little while. and then you're good. So it's really not too big of a deal. Like an hour of grinding sand, assuming you have the gunpowder on hand already, will get you more than enough, so it wouldn't be too bad. Let's go ahead and spread all this stuff out. There we go. Oops. Spread a little too thin there. And yeah, we just got to keep going up these trees. I don't think we're going to get this done by day 600, but hey, you know, we'll get done what we can, and that's fine. So, I would like to at least get all the chests done today during this stream, and then have them in place. And then maybe I can, like, go get all the glass all ready to go to and start placing that in. I know what I want to do for, like, the glass and all that stuff on each of the different floors, but that means I want, like, a matching palette that'll go from, like, dark to light. So, we kind of want to figure that out as we're doing this kind of stuff and see what we can do. I guess we could always keep it simple and go from like deep slate to tough and cobblestone to like calcite and diorite, things like that. Like deep slate, blackstone, to tough, cobblestone, stone, and then calcite, polished diorite. And then that would get us from black to gray to white, which would be fine. And then it's just a matter of going from there. So, yeah, we'll give it a try. But for now, we got more trees to cut. We'll probably mine like a full shulker box, and then we'll take a break by going out to the trading hall and go trade for all those books. So we need 32 mending books, and we need 32 and breaking 3 books. We might actually already have those from a prior project that kind of fell through, so we should actually have most of them already there. We just need to trade for a couple more. And then it's just a matter of going to our XP farm and farming the levels and doing all that kind of good stuff. So it shouldn't be too hard to make a full shulker box of fully enchanted elytra now, which will be nice. Anything the wood's tougher, because we need to cut down a lot of it. And those bamboo farms are nice too, but, you know, they would need to be either bigger or produce more often to get the kind of wood I'm looking for here. Or alternatively, chunk loading again. Can't stress that enough. If I had just set up chunk loaders, they probably would have already farmed most of the wood by now. But because I didn't, we're kind of still doing some of this stuff manually. Which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of how it is. I also don't know if I saw thunder or not. And the reason I say that is because mobs can still spawn when it's a thunderstorm out. And we want to be very aware of that. And speaking of which, it's almost dark anyway, so let's go ahead and pop down our bed and sleep. Get rid of this rain and get it back to another day. There we go. Well, something like that. There we go. Fly up to the top of another tree. Do it all again. I think we had done that too, because it looks like a creeper did end up spawning. They can still one-shot us at point blank, so we do want to be very aware of what's going on down below, you know? Don't have any unwelcome surprises. Damn, it's already almost been 20 minutes. Let's see how we're doing so far. We're doing fine. I mean, we've got almost 18 stacks in 20 minutes, so we get about a stack per minute. So yeah, I mean, if we mine for literally like 2 hours straight, we could probably do this pretty quickly. But That's the thing, is actually sitting down and mining for 2 hours straight is always going to be the toughest part. Just because, you have to sit down and mine for 2 hours straight. There's no shortcut, there's no funny business. You just gotta sit down and do it. And that is rough. So, yeah. But we're getting there. We're already almost a quarter of the way through, and we'll go implement whatever we can. I think we should at least mine until we get 2 shulkers full, and then we'll go back and craft and place all of them. I feel like that's a good compromise. Maybe we don't have to do it all today, or right this stream, but if we can at least get a very good chunk of it done, and then we can go work on the Elytra and cleaning up some more of our base, then I'd say that's a pretty good start, so that should be fine. And again, this is just a random forest out in the middle of nowhere, so we should be okay. Yeah, block palette wise, I think I want to mix in glowstone, at least on the very dark layers, and then we can kind of lighten things up a little bit more with, I was going to say end rods, but there is no shot in hell I can do anything with end rods right now, since I don't have a chorus farm. And maybe that wouldn't be such a bad idea to actually make a chorus farm. Even if it's just a little manual one, at least we can get some amount of end rods. That would be kind of nice. And then for the middle ones, we could probably do I don't know, torches or something kind of simple like that, or lanterns. We'll figure it out. It'll be okay. There is always shroomlights though too. I don't tend to use shroomlights that often because I'd have to manually go out and get them. But honestly, that might not be such a bad thing since I would have to physically go out to a crimson forest to go get them. Or at least to go get some of them. That lets me get more nether wood there, because we do like nether wood for the fact that it doesn't burn. And I kind of want to make a blaze farm, a proper nice one, soon, so we can work on that. And we just have a ton of weird little things like that that I kind of want to clean up, and I think we could clean them up today, We could build ourselves a nice blaze farm, we could go to the end and go get some chorus flowers and some more endstone to bring back and go make a nice little chorus fruit farm. And then with those we can make a bunch of end rods, and then we can use end rods for lighting, which would be very cool. And then we'll enchant all of our elytra, and we just got a whole ton of little things we can do. So yeah, well, that's enough that we can get for right now. Let's go ahead and tuck all of this away. There we go, do a little something like that. We're almost full, so we're doing good. Takes about half an hour to go get a full shulker box of logs with our axe that we currently have. Haste 2 would not make this better either, unfortunately. It's just kind of how it is, so that's a bit lame. I guess redstone-wise, the only nice thing we could do that plays within the bounds of our playstyle without using TNT dupers is we could make a skinny, tall, tree farm and have crushers break all the leaves and all that stuff with the fence gates and the honey blocks and all that kind of good stuff, and then consolidate all the wood into a single block that I can mine out. So if we made a, I don't know, a 10 by 10 by 10 cube of wood, that'd be 1,000 blocks. So that would already be almost a full shulker box. Or rather, it'd have to be dependent on the height of it, so it'd probably be closer to 8 by 10 by 10 or whatever. So you'd have a 10 by 10 base, and then it only goes up to 7 or 8 blocks tall, so that'd be your limiting bit. But that wouldn't be too bad. And with something like that, that just means that if you grow 100 trees with bone meal, you'll get about 700 wood or so, something in that ballpark with spruce trees. That could actually be pretty useful. And we definitely, again, we have the bone meal. We're not going to run out of that ever for something like that. So that actually could be a very worthwhile thing to try and build. Oh, got a zombie down there. I'm gonna ignore you. Apparently not. That's alright, you can die though. Nope. Let's go fly out, go get some more trees. We got a massive forest to choose from here, so we don't really have to be too picky with nothing. I'm just flying to whatever's easiest and just mining down. And we'll go to like the heart of the forest and like go mark out where that is, so that way we can get more later, so that'll be nice. But yeah, we still have plenty of other like smaller farms I think we can make or try to build together ourselves where we don't have to rely on TNT duping for them. Especially cobblestone farms, now that we can use the central like end portal and do all kinds of shenanigans there. I wonder if we could get a nice obsidian cobblestone farm hybrid going in there, because that would be really cool to have. Because now that we can invest in shulker box loaders, I want to start taking full advantage of that on certain farms. And plus, cobblestone farming is like one of the things I've never farmed before until they made that end portal change. And even then, I never did it, you know. So now that that's viable, it would actually be worth doing, which would be really cool. And we could get a lot of cobblestone and obsidian for once. Don't want to use obsidian as a building block though, because that seems like a bad idea. Could be cool though in the right context, but you'd have to like really commit to it though. And like really make sure that this is what you want to do, because getting rid of it is a nightmare. So yeah, we'd have to be extra careful with that. But it could still be worth doing, so we'll see. I don't know what I would build out of obsidian, but who knows. I do want to start building more stuff though, again, as I talked about last time. There's just a lot less like buildings that I have now because it's all been farms and actual like things to help me progress, and I don't know, I mean I feel like it's time to kind of do a little bit more beyond that. But we just got ourselves our first shulker, so we're a quarter of the way done. And now we are working on our second here. So once we're done with our second, that'll probably be enough wood mining for today, and then we will turn this all in a chest and then keep working. Go to the trading hall and all that good stuff, so let's just keep going. It's only 6 o'clock too, and it's Saturday as well, which is kind of nuts, so I'm off until Tuesday again. So we are going to have quite a nice long weekend here to work with, which will be very nice. I feel like I can get a lot done this weekend. And I hope I don't have to, but I might also work a little bit on Monday, just for a little while, because I do have some things I would like to like check in on with people to make sure that things are okay. And then, you know, if they're okay and I don't need to get involved, then I don't need to get involved. But if I gotta get involved for like an hour and I can like work at my own pace, kind of under the radar, and like not have to worry about it because we got some really tight deadlines. If I can get that done, I think I'd be happy. But we're just in a very kind of stressful period at work right now since the fiscal quarter just closed out, and there are a lot of new deadlines that I wasn't made exactly aware of until like a couple days ago. So I'm trying to not only learn the processes to meet the deadlines, but I'm also just trying to meet the deadlines in the first place. So there's a whole lot of shit that I'm still trying to do and also like redo, because I'm not redoing my stuff, but I am like trying to improve processes that we have, and that takes a lot of effort because I have to learn how they're done first, why they're done the way they are, learn all the little quirks and intricacies, and then figure out how do I automate it. Which, luckily, because they've been pretty good about how they keep their data, it usually boils down to just get their data to be pulled from this specific report or from a more direct database query, and then just put it in one spot, and it works out really well, but it's not for everything. There's enough stuff that's like that, but not everything is like that, so it can be quite challenging to develop all that stuff. Mainly because I'm like the only person in that department that's doing that kind of stuff, and the only person in the department who can do that kind of stuff. And it's going to be super useful when it's up and going and I actually know what I'm doing, but it takes time, you know. I mean, it's only been, if you can believe it, it's already been over 4 months since I started at this new job, and I think I've been doing pretty good so far. You know, my evaluation definitely agrees with me, and so does my boss and all that kind of stuff, coworkers. But I feel like there's still more that I need to be doing, and it can be kind of tough not to feel that way. So I'm still just trying to struggle through what I've got for right now, at least for another couple weeks, and then it'll cool down in February a lot nicer. And then I can take that time in February to really like buckle down and like learn some shit that I've been meaning to learn and like start redeveloping some big things. So it does get easier, but it gets harder first. So, like with a lot of stuff in life. Hey, that's the deal. But once it's done, though, I mean, that's where we're balling. We should be doing really good at that point. Yep, we'll see. Anywho, doing all this mining here, I think we're about a quarter of the way done with our next box. That's good. It's been 31 minutes so far, and yeah, we've mined over a shulker box's worth of wood. Can't complain about that. Let's go ahead and dump this down. We'll go ahead and throw that out and fill this back up. But yeah, going back to the topic of dye farms, a lot of them will be based off of micro farms and like existing farms we already have. So off the top of my head, we can cover red, orange, and yellow because they're all together with sunflowers and rose bushes. We can cover, well, let's think about what we can currently cover, not what we can easily cover. So we can do red, orange, yellow. We can do purple. We can do pink. We can do magenta. We can do black with our wither rose. We can do white with our bone meal and our bones. And then that means we can do gray and light gray with that mix. And then that's when we kind of run out of colors that we can easily make right this second. And then that's when we start getting into new farm territory where we got to make a cactus farm and a cornflower farm. And, you know, really once you make those two and like the cocoa bean farm, that makes like everything. You know, we'll have the ability to make all the colors by like combining them and all that kind of stuff, so that should be fine. Brown dye is special and it sits in its own little corner. So we can ignore like a cocoa bean farm for a really long time and not really run into any issues. That's nice. But yeah, I kind of hope that there are better cocoa bean farms. Well, there should still be micro farms that you can do though, because you really just need to have like a micro farm where you can just sit there and hold a right click. It spams like 3 or 4 bone meal to get it up to like full like dispense or full growth. And then a piston moves the jungle log and then you're just sitting there like replacing the cocoa bean when it's time. So you should be able to farm that stuff pretty easy with a micro farm and in good enough quantities. And again, brown dye is its own special little class. It doesn't make anything and nothing makes it. It just kind of sits there, and there's not a whole lot of stuff I would use brown blocks for, but it's still good to have the option to, you know. We don't want to lock ourselves out of colors for something silly like that, which we'll work on. But yep, we are getting there. Other than farm will be something though. But we'll get to that point when we get to that point. We've almost got another 6 stacks of logs here, so we should be at about 12 by the time we're done with this tree, which means we only have 15 more to go. Hey, if you think about that in the big picture, we're currently about a third of the way done overall, which is pretty nice. Can't go wrong with that. Also looks like it's turning nighttime here on day 599. I mean, we will be getting a day 600 here tonight, so that'll be cool. 600 days, we've made a world of progress, and we still got another 400 until we hit day 1000. I'm hoping by day 1000, I won't have the base done, but I should at least have all my farms like fully done and like some nice little like vanity buildings and like that little city done is really what I want. I think that's a reasonable enough goal. We don't have to stick to that goal, but that is like what I would like to aim for, you know? I feel like I could build that little village that I keep talking about just right outside of my base and actually make it look good. And then I can get most, if not all, my farms like done. They're in nice spots, it's done. I can continue working on digging out my base and all that kind of good stuff, but the main bit of farming and that kind of good stuff should be done. So, yeah, we can get a lot going. And after day 1000, because we'll have all the farms done and we'll have a pretty good chunk of our base in a nice state, we can start fleshing out our base way, way more with a lot more nice stuff, and then just starting to build out and around in the world, you know. We could do some really cool things once we can actually get more material. Because unfortunately, that's what everything boils down to at the end of the day, is you just need more stuff, you know? You think you have enough stuff, but you secretly don't. You need more stuff all the time, forever. Once you get more stuff, you're in a great spot, but you don't have more stuff, then you're not doing anything. So, yeah. Well, let's maybe fly on up. Looks like it's not nighttime yet. Here we go. Maybe instead of spawn-proofing the wither skeleton farm, we should focus on building a cobblestone farm first, so we can get like enough cobblestone for slabs, and then we can go spawn-proof with those slabs. Because I don't really want to keep using wood like how I've been using. Between like the bamboo slabs catching fire, and then all those bamboo buttons still means that I'm using wood that I could have been using for something like this. You know, still not a bad use of the wood, don't get me wrong, but I wish it could have been used for not that. But I didn't really have any other block in mass that I could use like that, so... I mean, I could always physically go out and mine stone manually, too, to go get stone buttons, and they don't burn, and they do good. And then turn them into stone slabs, or cobblestone slabs, depending on what I mine with, but I don't want to just go there and mine for a bunch of time either and go do that, so it's, you know, kind of its own thing. But at the same time, that's probably not a bad choice, though, either, to go out and mine, because we still have a lot of mining that needs to be done, and it, like, you know, gets you, like, one shulker box of cobblestone is two shulker box of cobblestone slabs. They don't burn, they're gas resistant, and they're fine enough. So you can just place them down and you're good. And they stick out against the red of the netherrack pretty well, so it's not a bad choice. But, you know, we'll see. That's not for me to do today. I can't speak, apparently. That's somebody's dog barking outside. Dogs are dogs, you know how they are. But yeah, we can strip this whole forest clean and not even make a dent. Or vice versa, we could not even make a dent even if we try to clean out this whole forest, you know? I mean, we're taking 4 shulker boxes of wood and it will not even like scratch the surface of this mega tiger because it's so damn big. So that's pretty nice. And you know, we'll build another portal out here at some point too. The nice boat road and all that. I still like investing in my actual nether infrastructure. I think it's important to do and it's worth doing, so I'm going to make sure we keep on top of that as time goes on. Because it gets easier to just be like, oh, you know, we're just going to use our elytra and fly there, and that's fine for some of the newer bits where, like, I don't have any existing infrastructure, but not long term. You know, long term that's not healthy and it's lame, you know? Oh, we'll tuck all that away. And with that, we are on day 600. That's pretty good. That is pretty cool. We don't have too much more wood that we need to go get. So let's keep go getting more. Let's actually take a detour for a second here and go mark a nice spot to go put a portal at. I think we're going to put it up here on like these stony shores. because these look nicer, and they also make like a nether portal stand out like aggressively hard. So we should be okay. So we'll take a little break here and go set this up. Let's go ahead and get out one of our ender chests here. Here's our obsidian. And we'll just place these down. We'll do a little something like that. Get ourselves a crafting table, make some planks into slabs. That way we have a nice pretty little spruce one here. There we go. Flint and steel should be in our toolbox. Yep. Alright. Tuck that away. And we can tuck our obsidian away for right now, because we don't need that. Which means we can tuck this away. This goes back on me. There we go. Do a little something like that. Alright, and then this is where we get out the coordinates book. And we write down our targeted block. We'll do 7. Mega Taiga is going to be at negative 23,404, 2572 with matching codes at, pull out our handy dandy calculator here, and we are looking for 23,404 divided by 8, which is going to be negative 2926. And our Z chord is going to be 2926 divided by, oh, excuse me, no, it's going to be 2572. 2572 divided by 8 is going to be 322, and that can be positive. Yep, so we have a negative X chord and then a positive Z chord. So that will get us our matching coordinates there. Later on in the nether, we can go back through and go build all that stuff back up. It should be fine. And yeah. So with something like that, it's a super clear where things have to go. Rather, where the Mega Taiga is. You know, you're not buried in the heart of it, and then if you lose it, you can go find it really easy because you just fly up and look for like a flat stony beach. So yeah. Not hard to miss at all. Or rather, it is very hard to miss, so it's quite good. Go. I know we're going through quite a lot of fireworks just to go up to the trees quicker, but like, yeah, because, you know, we're rich now and we don't have to worry about being too wasteful. And when I say wasteful, I don't mean like I'm going to spam like 100 rockets a second and do all this other kind of crazy shit. I mean more like it's more convenient to just do this. You know, it saves a lot of time because you can just cut straight down instead of staircasing up and then digging straight down. You can just dig straight down in one go and it makes life a lot easier. And it's not a waste to do this anymore because I have a gunpowder sugarcane farm. And I can mass produce all of the firework rockets in the world and not even bat an eye, you know. I mean, we're still going through like our initial like gunpowder reserve. Like I haven't run the hostile mob farm in weeks and I have not even like dented my gunpowder reserves. Now if I start using TNT for stuff, then yeah, you know, it won't be enough for now, but not yet, so I don't care. And if we really need more gunpowder, then we can retrofit one of the farms to have like trapdoors up on the roof. So that way we can just get creepers only to spawn, and that'll make life a lot easier. So that way we can have one or maybe two of them only spawn creepers, and then the rest can just be whatever. But if we just limit like two of them to creepers, I feel like that'll be too many. So we'll probably just do like one of them at some point if we need more gunpowder. And then we could always just leave that one running on its own, so only creepers are going to spawn in like the creeper one, and then we're good. So there's enough like options, you know. We don't have to go all in on anything right now. We just have to do something. So yeah. Additionally, we are almost done. So these 6 stacks of logs will get us up to 20 more in our box, which means we only need 2 more stacks after this. So we will pretty much wrap this up, go fly back, and then we'll go head out to the trading hall and go do some shit over there. That'll be good. Oh yeah, I finally changed around my schedule a little bit more, so Saturdays and Sundays are going to be, I think, 5:30 to 8:30, if I'm not mistaken, and then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday is going to be like 7 to 10 or something like that. So we will have everything be just a little bit earlier because that's kind of what I'm feeling like I want to do a little bit more. And it should be fine. So we'll give it a try, see how we like it. It should work well with our existing schedule and work and all that stuff, so it should be all good. We need 2.5 stacks more, so we'll go ahead and do another batch of 6 here, and then we'll go ahead and head back. But yeah, new schedule. Nothing's going to change about the content for right now. I do want to stream other games in the near future, but I really have got to work on making like actual stuff first. So once I do that, which might take a while, then I'll probably play more games. But in the meantime, it's mostly Minecraft, a good bit of Stranova, maybe a tiny bit more Pokemon in the near future if I feel like it, but once you get past the main hook of like the DLC, it slows down way too hard and it just stops being that interesting. You know, there's still a couple of new things we can do, new mythicals and legendaries we can go get, but not enough to warrant going back for another like 5 or 10 hours or whatever. There's maybe enough there for another like 2 or 3. It probably could actually be more by the time I'm done with all the side quests, but it just kind of stopped being fun once you got to the 5-star holes, unfortunately. And I don't really like that. So yeah. But again, once I actually draw shit, things get better. So we'll see. We'll see. Alright, this should be enough wood, but we'll finish cutting down this tree and then dump off the rest. So this will get us an entire shulker box's worth of chest here. This has been 48 minutes so far. So if we were to spend another 48 or 50 or so, we could do the other 2 and get it all done in one go, but I don't want to do that right this second. I want to go enchant my elytra and go put in whatever chest I got. That's what I'm feeling like. So let's go ahead and dump that in. There we go. That gets us over halfway done, which is very nice. And now we need to pull out our coordinates log to see where our base is. Let's see here. Our base is basically just -Z. We just need to go out -Z, frankly. And we will hit it. Yeah, I mean, that makes enough sense. And this is also a massive, like, mega tie. I guess this should be really good, too. We should also keep an eye out for some shipwrecks up here. I think since these chunks are new, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't recall, like, any of this. Also, those are some really cool cliffs. But since these are new, we will try to peek into some of these shipwrecks to see if we can get some Nautilus armor. I haven't forgot about the Nautilus, but, you know, it is a massive pain in the butt to go do anything with, unfortunately, since you need like pufferfish to go tame and breed them. Speaking of Nautilus, there they are in there. And I don't live near like an ocean at all, so I can't really do a whole lot with them, honestly. They're cool that they're there, but they don't really do a whole lot for me since, you know, I don't have like any major body of water that they would be useful in. Or any more useful than like just a normal boat, you know. Oh, we don't want to be here. I thought that was a shipwreck. It was not. No, either way, we got another 2,000 blocks. We got a shipwreck here, that's for sure. Go ahead and pop in it here. Buried treasure map. Could also be in buried treasure, which is true. That's all junk. Okay, we want to go northeast. Go north. It's going to be up on this coast somewhere. Yep. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was the 9-9 trick. You find the chunk that it's in, and then you go to 9-9, or was it 7-7? I don't quite remember right now. No, it was 9-9. So you see section relative, we're at 9-9 right now. We can go ahead and dump that off, and we got a Heart of the Sea, that's cool. And I guess some extra TNT didn't hurt anyone, so... Oh, except for the guy who got blown up by it, but we don't worry about that. Saying about him. Oh, go ahead and sleep here real quick. There we go. And that's consistent, by the way, so it's always going to spawn on the 9-9 sub-chunk coordinate as well, whatever chunk it goes in. So you just get close enough on the X, and then you just dig down a 9-9, and then boom, you're good. So it's pretty cool. With that, though, we should be within about 800 blocks or so of our nether portal. So, or not our nether portal, our whole ass base. In fact, that's the mountain range right there. So, yeah. And I mean, we have some bodies of water out in the area, but not really too much, so it's cool enough. We also need to reload on fireworks here. But we don't need to do that right this second. We'll do it once we pop back in here. There we go. And we're actually going to do some crafting first. I'm going to tuck these away for now, because these can just be put down. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and empty the contents of all of these. There we go. Alright, now we go ahead and do this. Get everything crafted up here momentarily. There we go. Now with that, we can go ahead and click on the chest. There we go. And we got a full shulker box of chests, just like that. That's easy enough to craft. And now all we do from here is we go ahead and we pop on up to our storage and we see if we can continue this pattern after we get some more fireworks. I almost forgot to do that. Let's go ahead and grab another stack of fireworks. There we go. We'll dump that back in there. Oh, right, that is where we want to be. Ow. Oh, right. Right, they're all in my shulker. Wait. There we go. Just go ahead and build out. Now we want to do 4 layers of this kind of stuff, so we'll see where we're at after we do this layer and the next one, because we should definitely have enough to do this layer and our 3rd layer. And then we should be able to do a nice chunk of the 4th layer, but it won't be enough to finish it all. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe by then the bamboo farm will have finished consolidating and we can go pull the rest out from there. So maybe that was all the spruce wood we needed, so we'll see. This is a bad direction to pick to do this, but honestly it's fine. That's not nice. Also hope I didn't put anything in there. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Alright. I've got the stream pulled up on my other monitor so I can actually see it play back in basically real time. Not real time, but it's a couple seconds delayed, so it makes seeing stuff like that like super easy. It's pretty nice. But sometimes things like that do happen, so yeah. Alright, let's keep going this way though. There we go. A little something like that. Whoops, threw that out. Hit you on accident there. There we go. Got a chest. Go get some more. There we go. Again, this is enough storage to store basically every item in the game in a double chest. And with all the shulker boxes we have, we will eventually, or rather shells, we will eventually be able to do an entire double chest of shulker boxes of items. So that will be very cool. We can get that going. That'll take some time though. But with that, we got our second ring done, nice and smoothly there. We actually need to pop some of these away for right now and go get some additional cobblestone. So we'll grab like a stack there, then pop this back in. And we'll pop that away. Something like that. Okay. And now, I think our cobblestone is like up on, it's up another layer, isn't it? Right? Yeah, so we have an air gap, and then we have it up on another layer on top of that. So that's what it is. Okay. We are going to use our elytra to get up there because I don't want to put down scaffolding right this second. So it's up a layer. So it's up like that. This is going to get a little annoying, but I'm sure we'll be okay. Let's actually put our sword away. We don't tend to put that away enough, honestly. Although we could probably just use it offhand and make life that much easier. But I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. There we go. It's a quarter of the... Oh, come on. I landed that. It's a quarter of the guideline. Whoops. There we go. Whoops. Hold up now. Let's slow our roll here a little bit. Whoops. There we go. Yeah. Alright, there we go. So, that'll complete that. Looks like we will have to expand the scaffolding out around. But first things first, let's go ahead and grab just a little bit more cobblestone. We'll do something like that. Damn it. That's no good. Okay, there we go. That's better. Alright, so now we'll dip into our scaffolding here. We're gonna just pillar this up for a while. Why not? Just keep it simple and get all this shit pillared up. Can't do that here because we still have the torch in the way. Something like that. There we go. Do something like that. Alright. Now with that done, go ahead and I guess we can keep cobblestone on us. Oh, we had cobblestone in a shulker box all along. Whoops. Oh well. We'll go ahead and dump all that away. And we will continue placing down some extra chests. It's already been an hour. Damn. We need the storage too. I know this seems like overkill, but again, with the amount of stuff we're going to be collecting, this is, believe it or not overkill. It's a lot, don't get me wrong, but it ain't overkill. I feel like there's a section on the second layer I didn't actually finish yet, but like I don't see it, so, or at least not where I'm standing, so. Well, we'll keep an eye out for it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see up there in the top, but my FPS is now taking below 60 when we're in here with our current render distance. Now, granted, that's partially because our render distance at 32 chunks, so if we turn that down to 22, we should see a big improvement. I lied. We are now, like if we look up and we don't have to look at the chest, we're doing good. We're at like 100 FPS, we're doing great. We look down at around the chest, we immediately lose 20 frames. So, oh, and sometimes we get a bit of a spike there. So I guess we're rendering chunks outside of our view or something like that to the outside. That's alright. Oh, sometimes we run a little fast and it doesn't like that. Change the render distance. Alright, well, shit. It's always fun. I'll get a better graphics card one day, but frankly, I'm using a 3060. Like I could just go play like very slightly modded where like you can have like sodium and shit like that and it makes things run a lot better, but I don't. So I should. I really, really should, but I don't. So yeah. We'll change that at some point, I'm sure, but not for a while. Like, I'm gonna have to be, like, cratering in my base, and I'm gonna have to be doing, like, so bad that it's just about unplayable before I'm, like, fine, I'll load it up in, like, sodium or something like that for performance boosting. But we're not at that point yet, so we don't need to worry about that. So far, I haven't seen that potential missing second layer, which worries me. I feel like it exists, but I have yet to see it. Whoops. There we go. Remember, these are all going to have item frames and shit on them, so they'll be easier to identify at a glance. And they're going to be like thematically sorted, so again, your stones and your dirts will be in one spot, your woods and your natural stuff will be in another spot, and then we'll kind of figure it out from there. Valuables will be like in its own little like subsection, so it's not going to get like a whole corner or wall or eighth or anything like that. It'll be near like probably the bottom floor, but that's once we get to that point. Damn it. Not cool. Luckily, this is one of our tall ones, I guess, but still. Here we go. Still am not seeing that second layer. Maybe I did come back and complete it. I had to have come back and completed it, because there's no way I would just let that sit there, you know? That just would feel wrong. And I'm physically not seeing it on any of them either, so I had to have completed it. I know that means I would have literally had to have completed it this stream in the past, like, 10 minutes, but apparently I'm old and can't fucking remember anything, so that's cool. But either way, with that said, it looks like we're done with our third layer here. Okay, yeah, that is how it would appear. So we would go up, do something like this for the last time, and we will build all of these out. Ouch. Build out these last corner bits. But I can make that, apparently not. That's number 3. And then this is our last corner bit that we have to build. There we go. That's number 4. All right. So now with that, we can now go ahead and get our chest going. And start getting all these built out up to where they need to go. Looks like we missed one there. There we go. Okay, less cool. There we go. Keep doing that. Keep thinking I can make that jump, but apparently I cannot. Maybe it'll get better when we create some separating floors and walls. That way we don't have to physically look at, like, all the different lines in this way. See, we are starting to whittle down, dwindling here on chests, so are starting to run out a little bit, but, you know, we'll be fine. Here we go. Whoops. Flip that around. Alright, it should be about the last time we have to do a drop like that. Yep. Alright, and then we do our last loop here. We need to dip into our shulker box again and take out probably the last batch of chests that we have. And we'll go over and do this side just for symmetry's sake. Damn it. Keep doing that. We'll also need to expand upon the scaffolding and cobblestone that we currently have. I feel like that would be a good idea. Alright, we're out there. And this is our last bit. Once we place these down, we will have to take whatever other wood we can get, combine those, and get those in the chest. But considering this is already half of the last layer done, we'll probably need less than we think, so we should be okay. We won't, well, let me rephrase that. We won't be okay to finish it all, but we will get pretty damn close that our bamboo should make us okay. So I'm not too worried about this. There we go. Only got 2 more stacks, but yeah, we're basically done with it. This will be enough to do this like eighth that we're working on right now, and then we can chip into the other one. But we won't be able to finish it until we get some more chests, that is. So we don't even have to go back for more wood. Or rather, we don't have to go out to that mega tiger for more wood, let me specify. Here we go. Alright, let's finish up what we can. We're going to do this one a little differently because we want it to be very apparent which side is unfinished. So that way we know where we need to go to finish it, instead of hiding it all in the back. And there we go. So as you can see, really not much left at all that we would have to go do, so that's not too bad. And then it literally is just a matter of how in God's name do we want to do this. Ouch. Well, for starters, let's go ahead and get all this built up to the very top where it should go. We'll have it all be flush with the top of the chest, but not necessarily the top where the floor or the ceiling would be. I'll have to go grab some more cobblestone. Which we got plenty of cobblestone in here, so this is an easy grab. Here we go. Alright, there we go. So that gets us pretty much all in place. That's good. And yeah, I mean, it's just a massive fucking warehouse. So yeah, a little big. It's definitely a little larger than I could have thought, but it should be okay. We'll also like turn all of these new. We'll turn all of these into chests, I guess, while we're here. Let me get one more log from here. We'll break into that for a sec, just so we can even this out. Now this won't finish it, but it'll get like ridiculously close, so it may as well, frankly. And we can dip into our actual like existing wood supply to go finish this too. We don't have to go out and mine for it or nothing. Yeah, I mean, we literally just need 10 more chests and then we're done. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, floor-wise, again, gonna be deep slate all on that main floor. And, yeah. Tuck that away in there. By now, we should definitely have enough wood to just pop up in there real quick to our bamboo section and go make some extra chests. So let's go ahead and do that. How we doing on iron? Pretty good, pretty good. 4 stacks of iron blocks on each side. It's quite nice. And we'll just make this until we're full. Yep, we have enough. In case it wasn't obvious. There we go. Okay, so with that, we finally have it all in place. That's great. So now, all we gotta do is get all this lined up a little bit nicer. And we'll just tuck those in there. I'm not gonna think too hard about that. Oh, we had some extra stuff we had gotten too. Let's back up a tick. Alright. Let's go ahead and just go lay in the floor. I feel like... Why don't we actually figure out block pallets first before we start putting shit down? I feel like that's really important, because I don't really tend to focus on that often. But I know I want a deep slate floor. I think I'm going to use tile instead of polished, and then we'll have polished for like the pathways that go down the central points. And then we'll have like different logs, different stripped logs for all the trim and all that. So that way we can have that be broken up. But we're going to take a breather from doing all that, and instead we are going to go to the trading hall, and we're going to go do a bunch of trading. Which is why it's called the trading hall. You didn't know, but we'll pop on down into there real quick. Got a wandering trader down there. Don't hear much for him, so we're going to ignore him. Alright, a couple of things. Boat there. And we just go straight out, I think, so. Let's go check out the shulker farm, though, while we're heading over there. Oh, that's interesting. So rarely it looks like that gets stuck. We'll have to get some more glass to try and prevent that. So I don't think I've seen that issue yet, so we will have to do something about that. Oh, that's not cool. Oh, that's not nice at all. But what the hey? I've just been going back and forth this time with nothing in it. That's no fun. Yeah, it's definitely like ran out of shulkers here. So let's go ahead and just take a couple minutes to repopulate this thing. We kind of need to. It's not too hard to do. I mean, it does have a backup shulker in there at least, so. Nope. You're not getting rid of me that easy, fat boy. Good try, though. Okay, well, whatever. They should hopefully get it kick-started again. Got one in the farm, but that's the guy we probably just put in there, so makes enough sense. Here we go. We may have a lot of shells now, but remember, if we want to have a double chest of shulkers, or have that many double chests all be filled with shulkers, we're going to need a lot more. So this will be good to get us started, but it won't be nearly enough in the end. That should be enough to get it kick-started again, though, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that be. We'll put the extra shell in there. Why not? Yep, that kick-started it again. Got a piece of dirt back. And then out this way is a trading hall. We can go ahead and pop on over into. There we go. How much smoother and nicer it is here. Base is turning into a bit of a lag machine, I'll admit, but kinda has to. Well, actually, no, it doesn't have to at all. We chose to do that. We chose to have it all in one spot like how we do, so that's on me, but it's what I wanted, damn it. I'll stand by that. So I actually want to be able to farm everything in a pretty small area, you know? Tired of having to go out places to go farm stuff. I just want it to be passively, like, there while I'm doing stuff. I think that'd be cool. Alright. Let's not forget what we're here for. We're here for mending, and we're here for unbreaking 3. So we're going to trade these guys out a batch. I should also maybe hold this out. We also need to be really careful when we're holding this axe here and all, since it's a little dangerous, but we'll be okay, I'm sure. Okay. Mark this out in all of its books. That'll be more than plenty. We got that ready. And then we already have Unbreaking 3 and Mending in quite a lot of these, so we don't actually need to do a whole lot here. So let's see here. Unbreaking 3. Current inventory, we can buy 4 at a time because we're kind of bloated here. Actually, I guess it's fine, all things considered, but we'll put these extra on Breaking 3 for now. We'll put those back, and then let's go ahead and get to our Mending guy. We need like 8, I think. There's our 8. Here we go, so that's 4. And then there are our other 4. Okay. Now all we gotta do is consolidate this stuff back down into blocks, first of all. Tuck all that away. And then we're gonna go ahead and put those down so we can free up a little bit more inventory space. We're gonna do this 4 at a time. Breaking 3, Mending. Whoops. There we go. Alright, well, that's a bit lame. Breaking 3, Mending. Breaking 3, Mending. Alright, we can do 3 more with our current levels. Now, luckily, we actually need to buy a crap ton of glass. So that'll actually get us the rest of the XP here over time. Let's go ahead and head out to the back here and just fill up on glass as much as we can. We do have our axe out though, and maybe this isn't the best use of our time here, but you know, we'll go ahead and do it anyway, so I don't really care. We'll get it when we get it. We're gonna have to use the XP farm back home anyways to actually enchant the elytra, so it hardly matters if we have to do it here or there. We'll get up to like level 10 or something with the glass, and then we'll go do some more enchanting. There we go. Breaking 3, Mending, Mending, and Mending. There we go. trade until these guys are done. There we go. That'll not only give me enough levels, but that'll also give me enough to go trade with for some more glass. And it's nighttime too, they're not going to want to refresh their stuff, so we'll dip into our villager backlog. Here we go. And lastly, we'll take a little bit more iron to go buy some more food. There we go. That'll restock us on food here for a little while. We'll go ahead and sleep too. Alright, there we go. Breaking 3, mending. Oh, let's do this. Breaking 3, mending, mending, mending. There we go. So we got a full shulker box of Unbreaking 3 mending and a decent little surplus of glass. That should help us kind of kick things off. And additionally, we're going to head on outside here real quick. I'm going to also turn on hitboxes to see what the hell is going on, because it was nighttime for long enough that stuff should have been spawning around here. So we do want to be a little mindful. And we'll clean out the iron out of these. We're due for that. There we go. And we'll drop it back off into the trading hall, because that's more of our currency, so that's good. There we go, nice and stocked there. Alright, and we can turn this into iron. Eventually we can sell these into emeralds to get more glass. Because we'll trade until we filled up that shulker box with glass. That'll get us the books that we need. We should also drop off an ender chest here. That would be really useful. And we'll put some empty like boxes in here or something. Just so we cleared a little bit of space. All of our tools are all fixed up, so we should be fine. We will have to fix up our bow, though, pretty soon. I mean, we could do that now, though, since we're already here and we just have to go buy a bow, so it hardly matters. Although we should make sure that we actually use these levels to fix up the elytra first. We need to keep working towards those. But that'll cover us on the emeralds for right this second, so that's good. We'll do that for now. Oh. Okay, so you can open it when it's partially open, which is kind of fucked up, but alright. Looks like we can do 2 at a time for right now. It's also 6 levels per. Quite expensive. Here we go, do a little something like that. And we'll start working our way through with glass. Every time we get to 12, we'll take a break to physically go put the glass away and to go cook up 2 more of these. There we go. There we go. We'll keep that on hand for now. We need to go trade for more emeralds in the meantime. There we go. Alright, we have already broken another anvil, so that's cool. I don't think we can enchant it with 37 torches, but that would be neat. Alright, you guys are all bought out, ain't you? Yeah. Not you, though. That puts us out of iron for right now. Let's get some more here real quick, which we will. Actually, we don't want to trade with you yet. Alright, we broke another anvil. That's cool. It makes 2 now. That makes 3 today, rather. Well, we're getting there. We are making a very sizable dent. Alright, that'll get us as many emeralds as we can physically deal with at the moment. So we're going to turn the rest of this back into blocks. That's going to go away in there. And then we're going to go trade for glass for the rest of our glass and our XP. We already need to trade for that. Look, you know, slave trading is very fun time for it. You gotta have it, alright? It's very cool. And plus, they need to fuel my minor collection of Elytra that I have to have. I have to have these, you know, I can't just have one. I have to have a whole fucking shulker box, alright? You can't live without it. You gotta have it. That, and also I want their glass. They sell really good glass, and I want their glass. They can't dodge me forever. Head in my hands, damn. And hey, look, at least I was nice enough to give them a nice trading hall this time around instead of some of the other trading halls I've given them in the past. You know the ones. Oh, speaking of which, we actually need to keep enchanting these. Don't want to fall behind. Six levels per Elytra, and I've still got like 7 more to do, so it does cost quite a lot to get all this. And I don't want to go back to an XP farm for right now, so yeah. Exactly, yeah. I actually took a lot of time to actually make things look a lot nicer and actually give them a little bit more space, so it does get a lot better for them. Still isn't great, you know, it's still not exactly humane, but they can't exactly fight back, so you know how it is. But we'll go ahead and keep tucking these guys away. Still got some more glass there. Probably have to have another empty box for more glass. Oh no, I've made the biggest hole ever, is more or less. Or rather, okay, it's a house and it's also an evil fucked up structure. I'll show you in a little bit. I'm almost done like doing all my trading here for today. But I live in basically a big ass mound of cobblestone for right now. It's very cool though. It's a lot of calcite, cobblestone, and moss, and it looks cool, and there's like a crap ton of farms in it. But it actually does look good. And it's still a massive work in progress, but like, you know, it's cool, it's imposing, it's in a nice area, so, you know, somebody's got to bring down property values. But yeah, we only need a couple more elytra here to patch up. There we go. And hopefully we can get it with the rest of the glass here that we can buy. Though I am starting to run a little low on emeralds, I don't know if I'll be able to do all of it, but should be able to get pretty close. Also, it's nighttime, so they won't refresh their trades, but no. Look, field a double chest, I don't know what you're talking about, okay? When have you ever known me to do anything with double chest, alright? I know you said you do double chest, but when have you ever known me to do... Oh, I broke another anvil. When have I ever used that many double chests before? Oh, last elytra. We'll buy food with it, I don't know. Why not? Alright, well, we actually had just enough time and XP to do all this. That's pretty cool. That was pretty quick, all things considered. So now we have a full shulker box of enchanted elytra, and some extra, like, shitty unenchanted ones, but that should cover us on that front for right now. That dips into our second glass box, and then we have additional food reserves here in the back. Like so. There we go. That should be fine. Alright, we can take all this glass back home with us, so that will fuel our storage room that we just went ahead and built. Again, it's a small storage room, shouldn't need too many materials. Totally. And, yeah. I also stream like 5 days a week too, as well, down for, so like, I'm doing this a little bit too often. I streamed 9 hours yesterday, so that was kind of nuts, but yeah. Good luck. Be our bestie, but yeah. I've got too much. But yeah, I streamed like 9 hours yesterday, and then I already streamed today for like almost 3 hours, and now I'm coming up on 2 hours for this stream, so yeah. But yeah, big base reveal. I actually have a nice nether highway that actually goes places and shit, so this has actually been really cool. I don't normally build these. But yeah, the nice little packed ice highways to go out everywhere. And then this is the base. It's a pretty cool little cave, and I just started working on it. And it's pretty cool. So yeah, it's pretty neat. But yeah, BRB. But yeah, Lethal Company is coming out with a new update pretty soon, so I do actually want to play Lethal Company. But yeah, this is my base. It's empty in here for right now because I live up a little bit higher. I'll put this on for right now. This goes all the way down to bedrock. So I have a chunk that goes all the way down to bedrock to basically world height that's cleared out, so it's pretty cool. This is my current storage area. It's fine. It's doing alright. We've got 4 hostile mob spawners that are out here. They're cool as fuck. I like these. And then my new storage room, I'm in the middle of building, but it's doing pretty good. This is like, I think this is like 1,400 double chests or something like that. So I'm gonna like lay in a bunch of nice floors, and they're gonna have their own different layers and shit. That'll be really cool. But yeah, it'll be pretty neat. I actually did die in a different hardcore world that made it to like day 500 or 400 something. So that sucked, but I haven't died in this one yet. And I've been doing it without shields or totems. So if I double check my statistics, I think I can see That's really cursed. I think I can see what times held picked up. If I go by picked up and 0, I can see all the stuff I've ever mined, but never picked up. So yeah, I mean, I've literally never even touched a shield or a totem of undying. That's how fucked up this is. So yeah, a little evil, but I've just simply locked in. But yep, we've got dual iron farms. We got an iron farm there and there. They auto-craft into bone blocks and iron blocks. So they store actually pretty well and compact. So each of these have like 4 stacks of iron blocks. We got a bamboo. We got a bamboo sugarcane farm. So I had to raid it for all the chests, unfortunately. Not so much for the sugarcane, because that's kind of there. And then, yep, iron farm. Then we got a moss farm up there. And then all we really got is the bedroom at the very tippy top. These are just all the farms that are at my base as well. I have a lot more out throughout the world. Like I just built a big ass wither skeleton farm, and I got a shulker farm out in the distance, which is cool. And we're gonna go ahead and take a little bit of a flight because you can see my base is blocking this entire mountain range, so I have thought about jumping off, but I have too much cool stuff, so it's pretty neat. But yep, we got this nice little valley out in the back that has a bunch of trees and nice little like pewter farms and stuff like that. So it's got like actual pathing and it's fairly well designed. And it's a little bit old because this came a little bit later. But you know, it's got a nice little enchantment room, XP farm, it actually has a slime farm too, a brewing area, all that kind of good stuff. And even though it's just a basic shape, it is coming along very well. We got a nice little melon and pumpkin farm that's here too. We got an older bamboo farm. We got some crop farms with some bees and all that too, so they make honey and pollinate the crops. Got some nice wood farm, bamboo farm, mushroom farm, more wood farm, and then I built like a little river that flows from a waterfall down to a lake, so that's been cool. And then I lit up all these mountains because they act as a natural barrier between like the rest of the world, so once you light those up, it's really damn safe. And it also acts as spawn proofing for my actual mob farm, which are very cool. So yeah. Oh, I would just build like a massive ass storage cube like I'm doing here, except in Create you have like the terminals to look things up, so yeah, it would be pretty cool, but I don't play Create enough, or modded, frankly, in general, enough to actually do anything. But check this out. This is what the base is from all the way up here. And it's pretty damn cool. So if I go ahead and make sure my render distance is at 32 chunks, we're going to lag here a little bit, as you can see. But my PC can handle 32 chunks in spurt, so it's pretty neat. But yeah, it's a pretty cool base up at the top. I really like the deep slate and like cobblestone pattern I did from above. It's pretty cool. And then this top thing that goes all the way up here is actually my bedroom. So you've got the same water elevator that goes all the way down to bedrock, which also has an ancient city down there. And then this is just my simple little bedroom. And then I can just jump out and go fly around. It's pretty cool. I want to build a city in here because this is a nice flat bit of land that's like right in front of this whole thing too. So you've got like a little village kind of medieval kind of thing going on, and then you got fuck ass tower behind it. So that would be pretty neat. And I think I can get it from one other angle here with all the cherry trees too. We'll go ahead and pop over and see. But yeah, you can just see it out in the distance. It's just there, just looming. So it's a little evil and mean. But yeah, good luck. Check your walls. It's very swag. Evil ass tower. But yep, I got more building to do with it at some point. But it'll be a while. I need to go check on the shulker farm too. I think I fixed it back up, but I have really got to install like better backup systems in it. It's been too long. And it's not too big of a deal for right now, but I will work on that at some point. There we go. Looks like it's still producing nicely though, so that's good. We'll go see what we got so far. And we got another 4 stacks of shells. You can't go wrong with that. I think we just got another one. I don't know if you guys heard that drop, but... Oh, and hey, while we got it, we should actually use our glass to fix up the cage a little bit better. Like so. That means we'll go ahead and pop on through here. And let's see here. Oh, right. That's the only other deal. That we have to have a way in and out through here. So maybe we should have like a trapdoor or something, but who knows. Oh, that button ended up in my inventory. Well, we can just throw it on the floor there. Who cares? Oh, this can stay because of how this is lined up, so that's good. Alright. We'll go ahead and trigger this from the nether side. There we go. Alright. And now we'll head back to our base real quick, and we'll go ahead and put the rest of this glass away for now, too. There we go. And we will get ready to start wrapping up stream here, because it has been another 2 hours. We got a lot done for 2 hours, you know? We got all of those elytra fully enchanted, we got the rest of the storage room done, and are now in a position where we can build out the storage room in the next couple of streams, so that'll be really cool once that's done. I'm mainly focused on getting the structure of it done and looking really nice, and then we will come back later with like item frames and go work on all that, so there will still be more to do with it after it's in a completed enough state, but not enough for me to have to worry about it, so. And yeah, lag city right now is what we're dealing with, so it's pretty damn severe. We have filled up a second shulker of shells, and now we are on our third here. Yep. Tuck that away. And then we'll go back and tuck away our glass box and our cobblestone box for right now. Let's see here, cobblestone can go in there, and then glass can go and be condensed. So we'll take these out. We'll throw all this crap out on the floor. There we go. Yep. That goes there. That goes there. We got all that. And we're basically good. We can take those out. And then we can go to like our valuables and stuff and go put some things away. But we will start wrapping this up now. Should have some TNT in one of these. There we go. And eventually we'll see... Ah, here we go. Heart of the Sea. We'll tuck those away in there. And then we'll put the diamonds away right in here too. Nice little chunk of diamond. And then flowers. We should have a box with some 2-block tall flowers in it that we should really make sure that we do something with. Not seeing them at the moment, but they could just be buried in a little bit somewhere else, so we'll keep looking through here. They can't be that far. I really feel like I had put them in a chest. Did I not? Really? Did I really not do that? Well, shit, I guess I didn't. Well, damn. I wonder what's up with them then. Yeah, that can't be right. No, it's gotta be right. They're not in here. Huh, well. We'll put those away on their own at some point. But we'll leave them out for now because I kind of want them to stick out a little bit more. So we need to go find lilacs and sunflowers at some point, but we don't have to do that today, so we're okay. About to say, wow, it is looking really dark. That's because it's nighttime, so yeah, duh. But with that, I think we are officially good. I think our bamboo and sugarcane farms are reset too. It looks like they are. I can't really see them too well from here, but I don't really see like any aggressive lines that say otherwise, so I think we're okay. So we'll go ahead and sleep and call it a day there. Made it to day 606. So next time we will keep working on the storage area and trying to get that whole thing done. And then we will figure it out from there, I guess. Maybe we'll do some more decoration and building out throughout the world. Who knows? But I definitely want the storage area done. That's our priority for right now. So that would be very cool. That being said, thank you all for watching. I hope to see y'all again next time. Bye-bye.